Hi, my name is Arguelles of Influencer Real Estate and your host of the Living in Stuart, Florida YouTube channel. Today we're on the famous Osceola Street in beautiful downtown Stuart and a perennial favorite as the nation's happiest seaside town. We're here to celebrate Stuart Main Street as we approach Small Business Saturday and talk to the small businesses that make up the fabric of this special Florida coastal town. And now we're speaking to Derek from Waterfront Restaurant, one of my favorite new restaurants here in downtown Stuart. Derek, thanks for being here with me.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. What made you start your business here in Stuart?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little story where I've always wanted to own my own business since I was a teenager. I didn't know at what capacity or what industry, but one of my first jobs was a dishwasher at Chipotle. And there was something about the dynamic and the organized chaos and the guest focus that I just fell in love with. So I ended up staying with that company for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
And throughout that 15 years, I was progressed in the company 16 times. In the last 7 years of my tenure with Chipotle, I oversaw 100 restaurants in Florida. So it was a wonderful company that helped me develop skills and prepare me for my dream. I've always had that in my heart that I wanted to have my own business, and it was time. So I was talking with one of my best friends, a close family friend, who totally supported it and wanted to partner up and take the lead. So right away we started researching all the way from West Palm to Stuart. Stuart was our number one choice. I'm a resident of Stuart. I love Stuart. I love the historic downtown on the water. There's so many bars, restaurants, retail, all walkable in downtown Stuart. So when that property became available, we knew it was a no-brainer. So immediately we took the steps to acquire the property, and that was the start of the journey right there. So
you were able to accomplish it in your hometown of Stuart. And how proud were you of that fact?
Very, very. I'm just a couple miles away, and I absolutely love this city and the progression that the city's going, and what the future holds. So, and the community has been so overwhelming, welcoming us, and giving us a lot of feedback, and we always love the feedback. So,
how is your business different now from when you first launched it, even though the restaurant is still relatively new, and just even within that business, obviously there's a lot of changes in the beginning, but in your eye, what has changed, what has improved it, and what do you look for in the future? Absolutely.
It's been evolving every single day since we opened in February 10th of last year. Mm-hmm. We started with the downstairs only, completely remodeled that, and then as soon as we opened February 10th, we started working on the upstairs, so gutting and remodeling there. So as far as the physical side, it's really evolved on a daily basis. And our biggest focus is, even though we serve food, it's a people business. So trying to find the best talent out there to make sure that we're guest focused at all times.
And the location's hard to beat.
You can't beat the location. I mean, there's views everywhere you sit, and that was very important to me and my partner. That you have this gorgeous building, gorgeous views. It's how do you ensure that every single guest that's coming to visit us has that waterfront view. Mm-hmm. So the entire downstairs, you have the water view. The upstairs, you have the water view. And it was also very important for us to get a property at this footprint, because we also wanted to ensure that we were able to provide multiple experiences. So, and what I mean by that is, if you go to our downstairs, it has more of a lounge feel. So there's a 65-foot bar, there's couches, there's lounge chairs, there's also tabletops. So great place to come with friends and family, have some craft cocktails and shareables. And just in a couple of days, we're gonna open upstairs, which is more of an elevated experience, quiet, scenic, intimate setting. We've upgraded to, we've had conference rooms with all kinds of technology to support any sort of meetings. We have private rooms for private parties. So we're constantly evolving and looking, how can we make it better, and how do we, for the community, how can we give them a one-stop shop?
Well, that was my first reaction when you said those shareable spaces, is that is so helpful, useful for this community. Absolutely. Was that something that was just kind of a a leftover idea or something you spearheaded early on?
It was something that we really wanted to do early on. I mean, we wanted to focus on, the top three things was great food, great service, and a great atmosphere. And then how do we take that and put it on a property that has, a multiple experience, that has multiple experiences. So somebody can, before dinner, go downstairs, have a cocktail, and then just walk up and have more of an intimate setting. So it's always kind of been in our vision, and that's where this property was just so perfect.
When we talk about supporting the local community that we're talking about here in downtown Stuart, what does Small Business Saturday mean to you? Because we know this is an upcoming event. We're here to celebrate small businesses, here in downtown Stuart. What does it mean for you and for Waterfront?
Small Business Saturday is super important. I mean, any time that anybody can go out and support a small business, it impacts that business in such a positive way, as well as it supports the economy. I mean, the more revenue that a small business has, the quicker it can grow, the more people they can hire, and it's just a wonderful thing to get out and support a local business.
And I think as a community here in Stuart, we do a really good job of supporting small business.
Yes.
There's always more to do, but that's, I think, the reflection of how excited, how loved this area is because of the success of all these small businesses, that you're able to walk down these beautiful streets and stroll and enjoy and just kind of be proud of where you live. And so thank you for being a part of that fabric.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
So Derek, tell me, how can people find you?
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's thewaterfrontstuart.com, as well as we're on Instagram, Waterfront Stuart, and Facebook as well.
So if I just call you, I'll be able to get a really nice spot in front of the water there?
Absolutely. You can also go on resi.com to book a table or give us a call.
Excellent. Hey, listen, it's been a real pleasure.
Hey, thank you so much.
Absolutely. And now we're with Terry from Clamshell Clothier here in Stuart, of course. Terry, thank you for meeting with me.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I see you've got a lovely new location. You were in your previous location for a while, but more importantly, why did you start your business here in Stuart?
Well, interesting enough, I originally moved here from Ohio to West Palm Beach, and I was looking to move north, and so I had a map with me. I had not been to Stuart, and the minute I came to downtown Stuart, I fell in love with it. And I had a store for 15 years in Ohio, so I decided that I would open a store here. It was still fairly quiet in the downtown area. This was 17 years ago, and I just set to work and rented a space, gutted it, rebuilt it, and opened. And it's been a great 17 years.
So you recently had to start almost from scratch again with doing this recently. So what is it about Stuart that says, you know what, I'm going to make the investment of time, money, and effort?
Well, first of all, I do love my job, let's say that. But second of all, I mean, Stuart's beautiful. There's very few places left like this anywhere where you could just walk in the downtown area. There's shops that are very diverse for lots of different types of people. There's great restaurants. The food down here is really good. We're right on the water, so it doesn't get much better than that. And I feel that the fact that the city and an organization, Stuart Main Street, and the DBA have done a very good job protecting the historical part of downtown Stuart. That's what makes it special. The fact that there are no chain stores, you don't have the Gap and the Chico's and the mall stores are not here in the downtown area.
And that's a really important part to really protect here.
That's very
important.
important.
And that adds and continues to add to the charm of why people are drawn to the area.
It is, and I think the fact that now we're drawing people from, I have customers from Miami and Lauderdale and Orlando, and to the west definitely. We get a lot of Okeechobee, Indiantown. People are coming here from everywhere to shop. And I had people in here from Fort Myers. They made the trip over here because they heard how great downtown Stuart was. So
that's a wonderful testament to this town being a destination now, which before it was just this little tiny town on the water.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now, look at it now.
And even in my 15 years of being here, 16 now, actually almost the same as you, almost 17 probably, I've seen the same level of growth. And so it's so exciting to see the what I believe is to be a smart way to grow and manage Stuart.
I think so too, and I think the fact that also the residents and the other we have a lot of snowbirds, but we also have a year-round residents. They're very supportive of the downtown. If you were down here for Hobgoblin, which was our trick-or-treat, there's 1,000 kids that come here, which is great because maybe they can't trick-or-treat someplace else. That's all funded by the DBA. We have Christmas on Main Street, and if you ever came here for Christmas on Main Street,
that's a huge event. I love that.
It's
the parade is beautiful.
It is beautiful. I mean, we have Mr. and Mrs. Claus and the lighting of the Christmas tree, and it's stuff like in the movies that you don't really see very often anymore.
So now I see why you decided to take the hammer again and rebuild your business.
Well, it's definitely the hammer.
and do what you have here. That's great.
So we have a great location. I'm really happy with it. I know all our customers are going to find us, and I think it's going to be great.
How does your business differ now to when you first started?
You know, it hasn't changed that much from the customer that I buy for in the store. Most of my customers are between the ages of like 35 and more.
Whatever they'd like to be.
35 and more, right? Although we do get a lot of young people in here because of our t-shirt business, but it has expanded. I mean, we have loyal customers that just only come and do all their shopping here twice a year, which is great.
With all the efforts that have been made to preserve and support small businesses, and specifically here in downtown Stuart, what does, very specifically, Small Business Saturday, which is an upcoming event, mean to you and you specifically for your business here?
Well, I think Small Business Saturday is great. When they first started promoting that years ago, we're just like, well, I don't know how that's going to work, but it turned out that Small Business Saturday is huge in downtown Stuart. A lot of our age bracket people or the customers that come here don't necessarily, they're not mall shoppers, they're not online shoppers, they like to physically shop. And I find that really Small Business Saturdays is one of our best days out of the year.
And so how can people find you when they're looking for your shop online?
We have a website. We also are active on Facebook and Instagram, and also word of mouth. Like, I know most of the shop owners downtown, so they're promoting me too because...
You were sharing with me earlier a little story about how that works, and I found that A, super charming from a personal perspective, but B, really effective in terms of a marketing strategy, in terms of the way you all support each other here.
I think all of us in the downtown area, if a customer comes in here and I can't help them, I pretty much know what everybody else carries, so I'll be like, well, I don't have this, but Jen over at Hardware does, or hundreds of times I've just called the store if the customer could be elderly and it's more difficult for them to go there and say, hey, my customer's looking for this, do you have this? Or, I mean, everybody supports everybody down here. I think
great.
that's really good.
Excellent. Are there any special promotions or anything you do special for the holidays coming up?
Well, we do put sales on through the holiday season. I think that our customers look forward to that. I personally look forward to sales from when it's the holiday season, because we're all spending a lot of money on everything else. And our customers know that come in here, so we'll be doing some of that.
Excellent.
We don't have it ready yet, but we're working on it. Because it is almost the holidays, isn't it? Right around the corner.
The minute Halloween comes and goes, it's right on top of us.
Yes, I know.
Terry, it's been really, really
It's a
wonderful
pleasure.
talking to you. Thanks
you
so
guys
much.
are so sweet. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So now we're with Rick of the Gafford here, on, of course, on the famous Osceola Street here in downtown Stuart, and wanted to pop in to talk to you today and see. Obviously, as we're gearing up for Small Business Saturday, I wanted to just kind of pull it back a little bit and get a better idea as to why the Gafford, why here in downtown Stuart, why is it important?
Why is small business important? For the community, I think, is awesome. I come from Dallas, big city, and then you come to a smaller town where it really means something. In Dallas, small business didn't really mean a lot. Here, the locals, the people that come in from all around the country, they really support it. People put out their mats and signs, and you really see a big weekend of shopping and dining and things like that.
Sure.
I think it's important to support the community, and certainly small business entrepreneurs. have a tough go as it already.
There's enough
as it
challenges
is.
already in place.
100%,
A
yeah.
lot that are not seen.
Yes.
So to be able to be in a community like Stuart that actually is very proactive and supportive of its small businesses, which obviously is the fabric of this street and the surrounding area.
Right.
And a reason why it's such a magnet for people that come here. How long have you been here?
11 and a half years.
And what made you zero in on Stuart specifically?
So my parents have been here for 28, and then I decided to come here. Taylor, my son, and I, who's our chef, we looked at probably 30 different restaurants to buy, and we kept coming right back downtown. And visiting here over the years, it was just always a cool place. You know, the water's here, music, everything's local. There's not, you know, downtown, there's no big box stores, restaurants, or anything like that. And it just kind of, for me, it just screamed like, this is going to be our home.
Do you think that is part of the magic of the area, keeping it very small?
Absolutely.
And catering to those people?
I think the city does a great job with that. The DBA and Main Street really push hard for that, keeping it small and local, and I think it's huge. And I think our guests, anyway, speaking for the Gafford's guests, they appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
They get it, they understand it, and it's important to them as well.
So you find this being a place where people come back again and again. They're just, this is their
Every year.
This is their comfort spot.
Yes. You'll see them come back into town every year. They vacation. We've watched so many kids grow up, you know, and you see them now, and they're in high school or college.
Some of them probably worked here.
Yes, absolutely they did. They would dine here as children with their families and then get a job as a busser or server or bartender. It's really cool, and it kind of locks you into that community.
Sure.
Even more.
What has changed in the Gafford since you first started it and to now, and you know, tell me about that evolution a little bit.
I'll tell you, in the beginning in 2012 when we started, when I bought the restaurant, was a Flagler Grill, and our client base was in their 80s. And Taylor and I decided we wanted to try to change that to be a restaurant for everybody, really. Mm-hmm. So we've seen a huge difference in our clientele, not just in age, but in flavor profiles. Being from Texas,
Sure.
like a little flavor, a little spice.
Little spice.
And we said, this is what we're going to do, and we've done that. So we kind of tag ourselves as Southern Steak and Seafood, and we try to have that Southern flair to it. So we've seen a big change in that. We have seen, as I said, you know, the kids grow up, and now they're coming in and they're our guests. Their parents aren't paying anymore. They're coming in and dining themselves.
Sure.
We've seen a little evolution downtown. They've kind of redone the street. It's much nicer. The shops that have come in after we have come in are still local, and they kind of get it. You get some people from Delray that came in, and they had to kind of understand the smaller town.
Business owners.
Business owners, yes, absolutely. And they get it. And on the backside, the city is redoing that as well. We've got condos going in, another restaurant, maybe a boutique hotel. So it's really changing the landscape of the town, downtown itself as well.
So that's kind of what our next question was going to be. You kind of mentioned the shift in the demographic that you're serving, but what about, you know, wider context in terms of Stuart? Have you seen that change as well?
Absolutely, I definitely have. So we get the people that have been here for a long time. My parents are some of them. They say we don't want our county changing.
Oh yeah.
They don't want it to evolve. But I always remind people, especially my parents, that, hey, you moved here from somewhere too. So when you think about 30 years ago, was somebody saying that about you, and you came in and you changed it and you increased the traffic and you increased the businesses. So absolutely, I see that changing. And I think it's a little more progressive with our city council or county commissioners. They kind of understand that. We've got Costco coming in, which certainly is not small business at all.
Right.
Not downtown.
Sure.
But the fact that that's actually coming to our county is a pretty big step, I think, for the county.
And we see-
Brightline is another one.
Absolutely. So I was going to lead to that. Obviously, we've had a lot of conversations where we talk about growth, and you certainly have people on one side and you have people on the other side, similar to your parents.
Yes, yes.
And then others that are a little more progressive, more accepting, saying, listen, everything is growing, but as long as we manage it properly, we can maintain a lot of the charm
That's it.
and the reasons why people love coming here. What are your thoughts on Brightline?
Love it. I'm definitely on that side of bring it. I want the depot to be downtown. I think it's great. I use Brightline. I'll go down to West Palm and go to Miami. I want people to come through this town, and I think about, you know, they just opened up Orlando, and I think about the people that could come through the city downtown Stuart and get off and shop all day and dine here or any other restaurants at night, get back on that train, they go home or they stay at the Colorado Inn, and
They get a taste of a
such
charming
great,
little
absolutely.
town. Yeah.
We get so many, and back to your other question, we get so many people that are coming up here from Dade County, Broward County for the weekend to shop and dine, and they love it. They want to get out of the rat race down there, especially in Miami. And we see more and more people, across the street. We have Gumbo Limbo, and Patty and I talk often about the amount of people that she gets shopping in her store from down south. It's great. So Brightline just opens that up, in my opinion. A lot of people have certainly a different opinion than I do.
I get it.
But I hope and just recently the city came out and they've got a couple spots they're entertaining for a possible station for them too, which I think will be awesome.
Yeah, that's something we've been discussing on our channel too. We have the Living in Stuart YouTube channel, and so we definitely talk about that coming and the pros and cons and the different perspectives, and it's always interesting to see not only from members of the public, but when I speak to business owners here in town, what is their sentiment, what is their feeling about it. That's wonderful. Getting back to Small Business Saturday, which is an event coming up.
Yes, it is.
Which I know a lot of people look forward to, and I think the spirit of it is very, very well intended and great. What are your thoughts about bringing something like that and always reminding people of the small businesses that exist and need our support?
Well, I think my opinion on it is it's very important. I think as our country was built on small businesses. We think about how it started back in the 30s and worked its way through. Without a push for that, without the knowledge of it, without the advertising for it, people just kind of let it go.
Sure.
I'm not sure if I'm answering your question or not, but I do think it's very important to have that. I think what the city, the CRA, and DBA does to advertise that, they do a great job with that as well. And I get people that will come in and weeks ahead, and they're like, we're excited about it, we're going to come down. We're not going to wait till then.
Yeah, right.
But it's going to be that extra push. We do the sidewalk sale downtown, and there's a lot of reasons to come for Small Business Saturday.
Especially as we go into the cooler months where there's so much activity here in the middle of Osceola with different fairs and different markets all the time.
Shows and the weekend markets, and it's great.
It's a great scene, a great place for me to walk with my wife and my dog.
Good.
It's a lot of fun. Is there anything coming up for the holidays that you're looking to showcase here at the Gafford?
We just started a new menu, which we try to change our menu out about every 4 months. We do it right before season starts for the winter, and everybody starts coming into town. So really our new menu is something that would feature for the holidays. We do some gift cards. We do the Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Wonderful.
Where we do a discount on gift cards, and that's been pretty popular the last couple of years. We were a little late on doing that for Small Business Saturday. We wanted to do it, but our gift card company couldn't make that happen
Couldn't do it in
fast
time?
enough. Yeah, so that would have been a great move. Next year, we're on the books for it.
Excellent. Well, listen, I appreciate it, Rick. How can people get in touch with you or reach out or find out more about the Gafford, make reservations?
They can visit our website at thegafford.com. They can go on to Open Table and find us that way, or certainly they can call us and Google us.
Absolutely. Or just walk in.
Or just walk in, absolutely. We got two
Go walk
sides
right
of the
up
street.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, right. You got
Yes.
two sides of the street.
We're fortunate.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Thanks
I
so much,
appreciate
Rick.
it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Thank you.
We're with Jen at Harborware here in Haney Square.
Haney Square.
Which is a lovely little pocket of shops here in downtown Stuart. Jen, thanks so much for meeting with me today.
Of course.
What made you open your business, start your business here in Stuart?
I was working for the lady who actually owned this business for 23 years, and when it came time for her to retire, she asked me if I would be interested in buying it, and so I did, and here we are.
Excellent. How many years have you been here?
At five in this location.
5 in this location.
Yes.
Wonderful. And previous, you were working in this location, right? Before you became an owner.
That's right.
Excellent. Tell me a little bit about that.
I was working for her as the store manager, and then she wanted to retire, so then she asked me, and so I decided that it would be a good idea.
So why was it a good idea?
Because I wanted to work for myself,
Okay.
number one, and number two, I love this store, and I love this here, and I love the people that come into this store. I love the people that come every single time over and over, and I see them a lot. So that we've built like relationships, friendships with them.
So tell me what kind of customer you typically get here.
Typically, we get a tourist here because of the fact that we sell a lot of Stuart merchandise and a lot of local art. So we get a lot of people that visit here. And then a lot of snowbirds in the snow section. We get people who come and they want their Florida merchandise because where they live is all dark and dismal. And they need color here, so they come here to get color.
Well, I'm originally from Chicago,
Yes.
so I remember the dark and dismal, and it's the reason why I left, because I didn't want to shovel any more snow.
Exactly.
So I can wear bright colors and short sleeves. So what does Small Business Saturday mean to you and your location here at Harborware?
It gives people the opportunity to come and spend money with small businesses, that the money stays in the community. And the money, like for my employees that I hire local, we have local artists here that we buy our merchandise from. So all of that stays local when you spend your money in a small business instead of like a big box store or a chain.
Now that's wonderful. I didn't know that you showcased pieces from local talent. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes. Local artists will draw things specifically for us and we'll put things on them and then we give them credit for their artists. And then it also sets us aside from a lot of the other stores downtown because it makes us have a unique individual product instead of something that you can just buy at a market or stores.
And I got to imagine that keeps it fresh inside, right?
Exactly,
Because there's always
yes.
something new coming in
Yes.
from the artist. Wonderful.
Exactly.
So how can people find you, online? What do you?
We are big on Instagram.
Okay.
And we post every single thing that first comes into the store on Instagram. So that's our biggest social media basis is Instagram. We also have a website, but Instagram is definitely our biggest, where
Our biggest draw, where we spend most of
Yes.
your time.
Yes.
And are there any plans for any holiday specials or sales or anything coming up for the holidays?
Here at Harborware, we take care of our military and our locals year round.
That's wonderful.
So it doesn't matter when it is, but if anyone ever comes in here and they're from the military, they've ever served, or even their family members, we always take care of the military and locals. So if you just tell us, you're always going to get a special discount here.
Excellent. I love it. Well, thank
Yep.
you so much for joining us today.
Okay, thanks for having me.